What's going on? My name is Caleb. I'm a full-time reseller. The month of October, I had an amazing month of sales. I followed up September. That was another great month of sales with another $22,000 month between eBay and Poshmark. And today, I'm going to be showing you the items that sold for $40 plus shipping or more, which is pretty much a no-brainer at a normal thrift price. So you guys know what to be picking up when you're at the thrift store to make that profit. Let's jump into the numbers overall for the month really quick, and then I'll show you guys the exact items. So right here on eBay, you can see this is from October 1st to October 31st. We had $19,337 in sales. You can see it's just slightly up from September because I had a really good month in September as well. One thing that is interesting is that my quantity sold went down by 10%, but my average sales price went up by 13%. So that's how I was able to get the similar amount of sales with less items by raising my average sales price, which is a great thing because if I can sell 10% more but keep that sales price high, then we'll really be cooking. Then to get to that 22,000 number, these are my Poshmark sales. And in October, we did $2,733 on there as well. If you look at the listings sold, we had 103. So what is that? 103 plus 443, so 546. So 546 items sold in the month of October. Reselling online. So let's jump into the items. Let's start with the items on Poshmark. Okay, our first item on Poshmark is this Columbia jacket. People are sleeping on Columbia, but there are certain jackets that you do want to pick up. I used Google Lens to figure out this was the Nordic Point 2. Putting that model name in there definitely helps. But the reason this one was great is because it's a 3-in-1 jacket. It comes with the liner, the shell, and you can wear them together. So there's 3 ways you can wear the jacket. And it is from the Omni Heat and Omni Tech line. So this reflective Omni Heat liner is a good keyword. And then I don't think I have a picture of it, but on the sleeve here on the shell, it says Omni Tech, which is their waterproof line. So this thing is super warm and waterproof. So it has a lot of good just functional features for people needing a good outdoor jacket. Here we have a Lululemon shirt. This is called the Metal Vent Tech 2.0. It did have a small little Cleveland Cavaliers logo on there. At the thrift store, I found a nice little batch of these size 2XL high quality athletic shirts with little Cavs logos on them. I picked them all up for about 10 bucks a piece. There was some from the Nike Yoga line, and then there was some Lululemon shirts. And I think even in this video, we'll see some more that sold for over 40 bucks. I thought that the Cavs logo would hurt the value, but because they're playing really well, off to a good start this season, I think it might have actually helped the sell-through rate because people are searching Cavs stuff for the new season. Here we have a New Tags Levi's denim jacket. It is Sherpa lined. It is women's. If this was men's, it probably would have sold for a little bit more, but a New Tags Levi's denim jacket, pretty much a no-brainer at the thrift store if it's at a reasonable price. The Sherpa one would probably go for more, like I said, if it was men's, but still happy with a $44 sale. And here we have another Columbia jacket. This one's from the Omnitech line. Let's see if I have a better picture of that. Here's the better picture. This Omnitech logo is what you're looking for. Like I said, that's their waterproof line, so people really like that because it's high quality and it's a little bit more affordable than some of the other outdoor brands, but still can fetch a pretty good price. 40 bucks here for a very basic jacket. Not too much to say on this one. Here we have a Carhartt vest. This has that heavyweight canvas on the outside, Sherpa lining on the inside. And I did go and look on the tag to find this style code of 104277. I picked this up for 16 bucks at my local Goodwill. Posted that on my Instagram story. If you saw, it already sold really fast. One thing I experimented a lot more of recently are lotting items up when I have the same item in the same size. And here we have 2 Polo Ralph Lauren shirts in size 3XLT in the gingham check. I lotted them up and sold for 46 bucks plus shipping. That's 23 bucks a piece. So probably could have sold them for a little bit more individually, but a nice quick sale. And on eBay, you do make more selling in a bundle because you save on the shipping and you save on the final value fees and everything. On Poshmark, it doesn't really save you that much to sell them as a bundle. But either way, really happy with a quick sale on 2 of these shirts. Here we have another Columbia jacket. Use Google Lens. It picked it up pretty quickly, I'm guessing because it has this like Sherpa collar and then the faux fur hood. It's called the Penns Creek jacket in a plus size of women's 2X. Thermal coil is the keyword here of why I picked it up. This little thermal coil logo here, that's a relatively good line in Columbia. Sold quick for 40 bucks. Similar to Columbia, I kind of have those similar rules with North Face. I want to pick up the higher end lines, either goose down or waterproof. And this one is from the Dry Vent line. You can actually see it on the sleeve right here. It's one of their waterproof lines, and use Google Lens once again to figure out this is the El Misty Trench 2. I probably could have sold this for a good bit more, but I do like selling more expensive items on Poshmark because they can't be returned. So happy to accept a reasonable offer. I think I had it listed for like just over $100, but still good profit. I think I paid somewhere in that $12 to $15 range. If you've been following my short form content, you would have seen this in one of my videos. I found this at my local Goodwill for $5. It just looked super unique to me. This is the outdoor brand Spider. It's kind of like a ski snowboard brand, but a super cool vintage piece with this crazy graphic on it. It stuck out to me, so I looked it up and I saw one was listed and one was sold. The one that had sold was $50 on eBay. I listed it for $50 and got an offer same day on Poshmark for 42 and took it. So one day flip 5 into 42. If you watched last month's What Sold video, you would have seen this Patagonia down jacket. It got returned on eBay because the guy said I did not disclose the stains. I definitely put read in the title and pointed to the stains. So I definitely wasn't trying to mislead anyone or anything, but when I got the offer on Poshmark, once again, just like the last item, I was very happy to accept because I disclosed the flaws. I knew this wouldn't be able to be returned. So happy to take my profit on Poshmark and not have to worry about it getting returned. And before I jump into the last sale on Poshmark that was over $40, I do want to say how I get my items listed on Poshmark is from using the software called AutoPosher. They changed their affiliate program so that you actually get a free trial and 15% off if you sign up with my code Caleb Sells, or if you use the link in the description below. That does help me out as well. They have really made it easy to cross list. I had given up on cross listing completely, but as you can see, it gave me an extra $2,700 in sales, and I honestly spend less than 10 minutes per week on the actual cross listing and on the actual software managing it, because AutoPosher does such a good job once you have it set up of delisting your items once they've sold on other platforms, and also using AI to make the cross listing really fast. So if you do want to try out cross listing, or you're not happy with the software you're currently using, I've used the other ones and they have all failed in comparison to AutoPosher from my perspective and in my opinion. So definitely recommend using that. Couldn't be happier with the service. So this last item on Poshmark is a pair of silver jeans. These were the men's Grayson Easy Fit. They were new with tags, you can kind of see here, and that's why they sold for $50. Most men's silver jeans, I see a lot of resellers picking them up. I don't see very good stats when I look them up myself on eBay. Maybe I'm just not finding very good models or sizes, but new with tags, probably a no-brainer. Silver jeans, the retail price is really high. I think you can see here it's like $105. So people are getting a good deal at $50. And I'm able to make a nice profit in there. So now let's jump over to the eBay items. So I did actually sell a lot of items for $40 or more on eBay. So make sure you buckle in here. We're going to show you guys a lot of really good items. I'm going to start off with this Faherty shirt. I used the style code down in the size tag here. MXC0001. I typed that into Google to figure out what the model name was. And this had a very interesting material to it. So I was actually excited when I looked it up and it called it a sweater shirt, because it looked like a flannel, but it felt like a knit material. So anyway, I looked it up. It's called the Legend Sweater Shirt. It actually sells better than just the normal flannels. It sold really fast for $40 plus shipping. Here's another one of those Lululemon items with a Cavs logo on it. It sold for $40 plus shipping. It's the same model, Metal Vent Tech 2.0. One nice thing about the Metal Vent Tech line in Lululemon is it actually says the size down in the hem. So if the tag is ripped out, you can still figure out the size. Here we have some new with tags J. Crew jeans. I wouldn't have picked these up if they were used, but in new condition, I like picking up those better mall brands at a cheap thrift price and just putting them below the retail, a good bit below the retail price. Somebody's getting a good deal on new ones, but it's more than the what you can get for them used. Here we have some Nike ACG ski pants. I'll show you guys the tag here. I love this, Y2K ACG tag. Pretty much anything in this is a nice little bread and butter or elevated bread and butter item. Of course, a waterproof, Nike Fitstorm, that's a waterproof line from Nike, is going to sell for even a little bit more. Nice $40 sale. Here we have an LL Bean Commando sweater. It has these little, I think it's like a canvas woven material on the shoulder and on the arm here. Shout out to Elro Fisher. I know he was calling these out in his sweater video. I don't know if it was last year's or this year's, but yeah, he has great research on his channel. Either way, I had seen these before. I've sold these before. When I picked it up, I knew right away it was going to be a good one, and it sold fast for 40 bucks plus shipping. Here's a staple to this video every month, Lululemon pants. They sell for 40 to 50 bucks for me now. I'm still picking them up because they sell fast in that 40 to $50 range. Not too much to say on those ones. Here we have the brand True Work. That's what the tag looks like. And here is the logo on the pocket. This one had some schmutz on it. So I did have to list it a little bit cheaper, but still sold for 40 bucks. Great pair of pants to pick up the flip. Okay, in the same short video where I found that spider shirt, I picked up these two black clover polos. And as you can see, I'm doing some experimenting with lotting them up. And lotted up together, these actually sold for 40 bucks plus shipping. I did get a little pushback for picking those up because that's not the best golf brand ever. But 10 into 40 bucks, paid 5 bucks a piece for two of them. Happy with that flip for sure. Here we have a Nike kind of Y2K vintagey tag on the Nike team tag. This is a fleece lined soft shell jacket. I think it definitely helps that Penn State is very good at football this year, so people are more invested in the team. Here we have some Levi's premium jeans. You can tell they're the premium line because they have this bright leather patch and they have a big E, but they're still modern. They also have a little tag on the inside that says Levi's Premium. Looks like that right there. And these do sell for a little bit more in new and in used condition. So say you find 501s in used condition, those are going to sell for a little bit more than regular modern 501s. And same with these new ones. So I was able to sell them for a little over 40 bucks. Here we have a Mountain Hardwear and Cole Haan collab vest. I thought this would be a slower seller because it's such a niche item, but it actually sold really quick for me. It had a very like techie vibe to it, very modern, smart casual, whatever you want to call it. But Mountain Hardwear is a great outerwear brand, and Cole Haan is like a nice kind of like lower level designer is kind of the category it falls into in my head. More known for making shoes. But either way, I was really happy that it sold relatively quickly because I thought it would be slower. 40 bucks plus shipping on that one. Here we have 32 Snowboard. Here's the logo. In the tag, it said that this was called the Metcalf jacket. And when I looked it up, I couldn't find any Metcalf jackets listed or sold. So just kind of made up my own price of 50 bucks and got an offer for just under 40. He sent me an offer of 32 and like sent like a winky face or something because the brand's name is 32. So I sent back 39.32 and he said that was funny and accepted my offer. So maybe being a little cheeky with your offers will get you some sales sometimes. I don't know. Here we have an alpaca sweater. So pretty much anything that is 100% alpaca is going to be a pickup if it's, a cheap price and in perfect condition. This was a cardigan sold for $42.70 plus shipping. Another staple in this series, some diesel jeans. These diesel jeans do have these 3 little lines here, which means that they're made in Italy. I didn't really tell on eBay if that helped the value that much or not, but definitely something you want to put in your title. This is the Cruelly model, regular slim carrot. I don't know what slim carrot means when it comes to how jeans fit, but they sold quickly and for good money, 42 bucks plus shipping. Here we have a Y2K Nike track jacket. The black and white ones, in my opinion, sell fast, but the really colorful ones can sell for more, but sell slower. So take that information and run with it, but the vintage Nike jackets sell pretty well for me. Peter Millar EB66 pants. These are a staple. If you go on this back tag, it says EB66. Those are going to be their best line of performance golf pants, and they sell great all the time, all year long. 40 bucks. Quick sale because it had some schmutz on it. We got another pair of Lululemon pants. Here we have a Vineyard Vines quarter zip. This one was new at tags and in the performance line. Anything Vineyard Vines performance is going to sell for a little bit more than the regular one. So even though it's just a basic knit quarter zip, because it said performance, I think that really helped it sell faster. This little quilted material from LL Bean is called the Airlight Collection. In new condition, it sells really, really well and holds its value compared to the MSRP, in my opinion. And in used condition, it's a quick seller, but probably not going to make tons of money on that. This is actually a women's, so very surprised that a women's one sold for 40 bucks. But like I said, the Airlight collection does keep its value compared to the retail price from my experience. Here we have a North Face Denali jacket. That just means that it has this like windbreakery material on the chest and the arms, and then is fleece everywhere else. And this one was hooded, so I think that helped the value a little bit, but it was women's. That kind of hurts the value a little bit. So I think these are typically worth around that $40 price. Here we have a vintage Carhartt sweatshirt. This was super thick, super heavyweight, and it was old. I typed in J154 into eBay to get the stats on that. They called it the thermal mesh lined work sweatshirt. So put all those things into my title, and it's over 40 bucks even with an oil stain in the front. Vintage Polo Ralph Lauren has been a great seller for me. Here's the tag, made in Peru. This is made with alpaca wool, so same as that other alpaca. That's just a alpaca sweater. Alpaca is just an elevated material that makes an item nicer. It makes it softer. And it has that cool houndstooth pattern, sold for 40 bucks. Paul and Shark Yachting. I've only found this brand a couple times, and the comps are always very weird and hard to decipher because I think it's a European brand, so a lot of the sales are not from the US. Some of these sweaters sold for crazy money. Some of them sold for like 10 bucks. So I paid $7.50 for this, just kind of took a gamble, and it sold really quick for full price of 40 bucks plus shipping. So maybe I underpriced it. Not really sure, but happy to see it go. Here we have a G4 shirt. This is like kind of like an athletic-y workout shirt from the golf brand G4. Picked this up at Marshall's for 10 bucks during their yellow tag event. And you kind of have to wait out on those types of items because a lot of people are buying them all at the same time. And then people are in a very big hurry to sell them. So I kind of waited all those people out and was able to get 44 bucks for this one, and I got two of them, so I have one left. Hoping to get about that same amount again. That is the slowest selling item that I've showed so far, and that SKU number is 7290. I'm currently on 82, so even this item was only about less than 3 months old. So all these items have been selling super fast that I've been showing you guys as well. Here we have some Levi's 514s. These were new with tags, but a little bit of an older tag, probably like mid 2010s. Nothing too crazy here, but they are brown. So different colors in Levi's can just help the sell-through rate because there's less competition. Blue and khaki tan, there's just so many of those available. So they are going to be slower sellers. Here we have some vintage Levi's. Do a little size or year identification with you guys. You go to this button, it says 501. That's the factory code. So then you go to this tag, made in USA 505. You go to the back of the tag, and you find 501, the factory code. You go right next to that, 0695. So these are from June of 1995. That's how you date this style and tag of Levi's. Sold for 40 bucks. Vintage Levi's in the color black, great sellers. Here we have another one of those athletic-y with the random calves logo. This is the Nike yoga hoodie. That's a good line from Nike to be on the lookout for. It's kind of like that bread and butter, maybe elevated bread and butter price, 30 to 40 bucks typically. Listed this one a little high because of the 2XL size and the Cavs logo, and got the sale for 42. Here we have some Columbia snow pants. These were new with tags. In used condition, I picked those up at a thrift price, you know, under 10 bucks, and probably sell them for 25 to 30 bucks. So a nice, more bread and butter item if you find it used. Marmot is a great outerwear brand. Here's the logo. I used Google Lens to figure out this shiny looking jacket. It was called the Baffin jacket. Put that in the title and it sold quick for full price. It wasn't in the best condition, so I did probably sell it a little bit lower, but you know, happy to get it sold quick. Here's another one of the slower items. This is 7800, so probably about a 2-month-old item. Tactical Distributors jeans. This is what the tag looks like. In used condition, I would say this is kind of like a meh brand. If you found it cheap, I'd definitely pick it up. But new at tags, the comps were promising. Pick these up at Plato's Closet or one of those other consignment stores when they were doing like a discount. My average buy cost was 10 bucks for those items. So 10 into 45, definitely not going to complain. All right, I'm going to start trying to go even faster because this is going to get really long. We're still only in the $40 items. Eddie Bauer women's rain jacket, even with some damage. Some discoloration there, but it was new with tags. But Weather Edge is a good line from Eddie Bauer to be on the lookout for. Sold for 45 bucks. Carhartt Shacket. This has a fleece lining. It's size large, tall. All those things are working together. It's got that cool outerwear or cool outdoorsy kind of look. Definitely a great item. 40 bucks plus shipping. These are items that sold for just under 40 bucks. If you want to pause the video and go back and check them out, please do. It's still pretty good items, but we're going to do $40 or more. Here we have a Brooks Brothers sweater. This one was new at tags. Brooks Brothers new at tags, similar to Polo Ralph Lauren, always sells great for me, so I always pick it up. That was a little bit of a slower seller, but maybe I was listing that before fall had really kicked in yet. Either way, sold great. Here's another specific LL Bean sweater to be on the lookout for. This is called the Waterfowl sweater. It has this cool, like, kind of faux suede lining here, and it's made of 100% merino lamb's wool. This item ID on LL Bean tags, you can type that into Google and it will pull up all the information from the actual LL Bean website. So you can get all the information you need. That's how I found out this was the waterfowl sweater. But that sold super well, 47 bucks plus shipping. And I found a vest in that same style called the waterfowl vest, and it sold for, I think, 35 plus shipping super quick. Here we have some Primo golf joggers. Here's the little logo. And here's the tag. This is a brand that's being promoted by very big golf YouTubers with a very large following. So these is probably going to be a pretty good golf brand for the next couple of years. Here we have another Columbia jacket, Omnitech line. I pick these up at thrift price and sell them in that, $30 to $50 range, and sometimes more depending on the features. Here's a very, very random item. I found this in my inventory. I've been trying to clear out all my hard goods to size down my inventory, realized it wasn't listed. So I listed this way under market because I wanted to sell it before Halloween. And I did for 40 bucks plus 15 bucks shipping. And it was already prepackaged, so just had to slap a label on the box and get it out of here. Here's another LL Bean item. I used this number right here, 515868, to figure out this was the 3-season bomber. This green color in LL Bean is just a classic color for the brand, which is why I think it sold for so much money and so quickly, even though that's not like necessarily a super expensive jacket. 45 bucks plus shipping. Hey Dude is kind of washed up for used shoes, but if you see something unique, definitely look it up. The nice thing about Hey Dudes is that right on the tag, it tells you the model. So this was Bradley waxed canvas. I typed that into eBay and the comps looked great. I paid $9 and sold them for 45 bucks plus shipping. Here we have another Marmot jacket. This one was a goose down jacket. Right here, this is what I want to mention, 800 fill. That's a pretty nice jacket. So you definitely want to put the fill number in the title and in your listing when you're listing down jackets, because people relate that for the type of activity that they're doing or how cold it's going to be. People that are really into outdoorsy kind of stuff will know what that means and will want to get the right jacket. Here we have some Polo Ralph Lauren chino pants, new at tags. You guys know new at tags polo is an automatic pickup for me at a reasonable price. Sold pretty quickly. I've mentioned this in a couple of videos, but when you see this little QR code, that means it's a pretty modern style because they just recently started doing that. And you can also scan that with your phone and it will tell you the model name and authenticate your item for you. Speaking of Polo Ralph Lauren, here we have the classic bi-swing jacket. That's what they call this kind of shorter bomber jacket with the chin strap collar and the plaid lining. Used to be called the Harrington jacket. Now it's called the bi-swing jacket. Always a solid seller for me. And depending on the color or the style or different features they might have, you might be able to get more than even that $45 number. True Religion jeans, these were new at tag, so pretty much an auto pickup. One thing that helped them sell faster, they do sell a little bit slower these days, is that they have this classic stitching and flap pocket. That is like what people think of when they think of True Religion jeans. So finding items within brands that identify that brand easily when being worn. So something with like a big logo or something that has a very specific style to a brand, those are going to be the best selling items in those brands typically. Here we have another bi-swing jacket. This one was canvas with a corduroy collar, cool maroon color. Probably could have gotten a little bit more for that, but happy to have a quick sale at 50 bucks there. And another Marmot item. These were Marmot Gore-Tex pants. I couldn't find anything with this Gore-Tex XCR. So I listed mine higher, hoping maybe that was a better line of pants, and got a $50 offer and jumped on it. Paid 12 bucks for those, and I'm pretty sure those sold in less than a week. Every reseller's favorite brand, Arc'teryx. Here's the logo that you're looking for. and the tag. You can see this is like really fuzzy and pilled out. It still sold in just a couple days for $47.50 plus shipping. It's obviously an auto pickup. Brooks Brothers blazer. This one was 100% cashmere, made in USA. Those two things really made this sell a lot quicker. Oh, here we go. 100% cashmere. Brooks Brothers is probably one of the like a mid-level, slower selling suit, but cashmere and made in USA are good little factors to get them selling quicker. Here we have a 511 tactical jacket. Another brand where I always find the style code 48103. I typed that into Google, figured out this was the signature duty jacket and that it was also waterproof. All those things went in the title and got this thing sold really fast, 42 bucks plus 15 shipping, I think. Here's another thing. If you've been following my short form content, you've been seeing me sell these Crocs Echo clogs. I paid 25 bucks for these and I bought 6 pairs and been selling them for 50 bucks plus $10 shipping. One thing that's really cool about these is they come in a poly bag and then I just throw them in another poly bag to ship them. So it's kind of like a nice little way that I can lean into the holiday season and Q4 a little bit more because people are going to want to be buying new items and buying gifts for people and putting things on their Christmas list and all that good stuff. And it's not that far away from clothing, so it doesn't really mess up my processes. I can still put them in my normal inventory boxes and they're really easy to ship, don't take any extra time. How I actually found out about these is actually from a reselling Discord group called Bread and Butter. You'll see other sales throughout Q4 that I've found from this group. They've helped me make tons of money over the last few years. I do more thrifting now. I used to do a lot more online and retail arbitrage, but if you're looking for a way, you have capital that you want to invest in inventory that can be delivered to your house, or you can find out at the retail stores to try to get a higher return on your investment. Definitely a good place to learn those things. If you want to check it out, use the link in the description below. Once again, that helps me out and I do appreciate it. But it's not for everybody, but if you have extra capital to invest, I do think it is a great resource and it's really helped me over the last few years. Okay, here we have a Vineyard Vines sweater. Vineyard Vines is kind of meh in my opinion, but when I saw this was 100% cashmere, I definitely knew this was an automatic pickup. Paid $7.50 for this and it sold for 50 bucks. I do want to go on a little bit of a rant here. A lot of brands use cashmere as a marketing tool. What they will do is they'll take a sweater that's 100% cotton, and instead of making it 100% cotton, they'll put in 5% cashmere, and then they'll market it as a cashmere blend sweater or a such and such sweater with cashmere. It's not 100% cashmere. And when you feel those, they still feel like cotton. They're not super soft. They don't have that luxury feeling that cashmere has. And of course, the brands that are good without elevated materials, those could still be really good items in some brands, but a Vineyard Vines sweater is a perfect example. If that was a sweater that was 95% cotton and 5% cashmere, I would have passed 100% of the time because those are flooded on eBay. They don't sell for a lot of money. It's just not very good. But 100% cashmere, when you feel it, it's just super, super, super soft. You can tell that it's a luxury material. And you're looking for 100% cashmere, not 5% cashmere. I'm not saying that every 5% cashmere item is bad, but don't use 5% cashmere as an elevated material. You want to see that 100% cashmere or maybe like a 50% cashmere, 50% silk, or something along those lines to show that it actually is elevated and it's actually going to be soft to the touch when it is made well and made better with those better materials. Rant over. Here we have another pair of those Crocs. Like I said, 25 into 50 plus $10 shipping. Salvatore Ferragamo, a nice designer blazer to be on the lookout for. I do sell my blazers cheaper than what you could really get, but I like to sell them quicker because they typically have a very slow sell-through rate. Even this really nice Salvatore Ferragamo blazer probably has a horrible sell-through rate on eBay. So what I do is I try to price it competitively so that I can get that quicker sale. Eddie Bauer jacket, the First Ascent line. You guys know I've been talking about this forever, but the First Ascent line and the Travex lines are better lines of Eddie Bauer. So this was also a tall size, which I think was good and helped the value. Quick sale for 51 bucks. Definitely not complaining that for an Eddie Bauer jacket. Another brand people love to hate on is Orvis. But if you know how to find the style name on Orvis jackets, they can be worth some serious money. This one looks basically like a Polo Ralph Lauren bi-swing jacket. What I did is I went here, found this item number 1Z5B, typed it into Google, found out it was called the Weather Breaker jacket, and Bob's your uncle, $50 sale. Here we have some vintage Levi's 517s. They sold for 50 bucks. These were a very unique pair. These had a super cool faded out wash, but you'll see on the back here, they actually were missing one of the back pockets, and it was the one that had the little Levi's tab on it, just completely missing. Um, I wish this would have had the pocket just so I could have aimed for the stars with the price on these. But happy to take a $50 offer on some old Levi's without a pocket. Here we have another little bundle lot that I was experimenting with. A lot of Bulwark FR jeans. Had three of them. I paid $3 a piece for these, so $9 into $50 plus shipping, and that is actually sold in like one day. So one thing I'm noticing is that the lots sell faster. So even if you make a little bit less per item than selling individually, I'm happy to get a quick sale. Here we have some redback boots. I think these were in my video last month because they got returned. And then I sold them again. You can see right here it says redback, and it has this little spider logo. Really good boots. If they're in perfect condition, they can sell for way more than 50 bucks. These were really beat and still sold twice for 50 bucks. I sold them once for 40, and then they got returned, and then they sold again for 50. Here we have an LL Bean jacket. This one was new with tags, but did have a company logo on there. I picked it up anyway because it was new with tags, and I'm glad I did. It was size 3XLT, which I think also helped. Sold really fast for 55 bucks plus shipping. And that's one of their waterproof ones with the TEK trail model. I think it says TEK on the sleeve. That's one of their waterproof lines. Similar to those other brands I'm telling you about, you just want to look for those indicators that tells you it's a higher level item within the brand, and those are the ones you want to pick up. Here we have an American Eagle jacket. I used the keyword Adirondack and heavy because this thing was super thick and super heavy. I paid 16 bucks for this at the thrift store, and it sold in no time for 50 bucks plus $14.95 shipping. And this was in another one of my short form videos. People were saying I wouldn't have paid 17 bucks for American Eagle. Well, I paid 17 bucks and sold it for 50 really quickly. Definitely no complaints. New at tags Polo Ralph Lauren. Same old song and dance there. Any new at tags Polo Ralph Lauren I'm picking up. Those jeans sold for 54 bucks. I paid 12 bucks for this LL Bean sweater, but when I saw this made in Ireland in this super old looking tag, I was happy to pay up because I knew that would sell quick with the cool Fair Isle print or a pattern in there. Sold for 60 bucks plus shipping. Obermeyer is a ski brand. I really have not figured out this brand. Sometimes it sells for crazy amounts of money, and sometimes it doesn't sell or doesn't sell very well at all. I've just been trying to look up and learn a little bit more about it, but they do have some stuff that's like super techy, super high quality, has lots of features, waterproof, breathable, has this Reco or Rico. I'm not sure how you say that, but I'm pretty sure that's a thing where like if you get lost in the woods, people can find you, or if you lose your jacket, maybe you can find it. I don't know. Not really an expert in that, but I do know that's a feature that helps items sell. Sold for 56 bucks plus shipping. Here we have a Ralph Lauren blazer. Navy blazers with gold buttons in mid-level brands still sell well, and they sell a little bit quicker. 57 bucks plus shipping for that blazer. Super happy with that. Another new at tags Polo Ralph Lauren sale. These are just the heavyweight sweatpants. Probably would have picked these up and tried to get, maybe 25, 30 bucks for them in used condition, but in new condition, Polo just flies for me. Here we have an LL Bean 3-in-1 jacket. You guys have heard me already in this video talk about the jackets that are 3-in-1. This has the waterproof shell, the inside fleece liner, and you could wear them all together as one jacket. Sold for 51 bucks. Under Armour, another sleeper jacket brand. This is the Cold Gear infrared line, and it says somewhere on the sleeve, yes, Storm. So that's waterproof as well. On Under Armour, I did use this little tag here to figure out the model name. So I typed in Under Armour 1280813, figured out this was the Powerline Storm Infrared Parka. So I used all those keywords in my title to get that sold. Tyndale FR jacket. This was more like a sweatshirt hoodie jacket. Other items from this brand don't really sell that great. It's more like a bread and butter, but for some reason, these full zip like hoodie jackets sell really well. Sold for 60 bucks plus shipping. We got another LL Bean jacket. This was canvas on the outside, had a wool blanket lining. It sold super fast. I listed at 60 and Auto Posture sent an automatic offer for 54, 10% off plus shipping, and it sold in like a day. So maybe I underpriced that. Not super sure there, but I knew it was good. Here we have a vintage 3D knit sweater. If you can kind of see there, it has that Kuji-like style. Not a good brand, Brandini, but because it had that Kuji style, still sold for 60 bucks. Here we have another one of those Carhartt jackets. Same thing as the other one, only this one was new with tags, so sold for a little bit more. 63 bucks plus shipping. Here we have a bundle of two Carhartt pants sold for 60 bucks plus shipping, but really that's just 30 bucks a piece. So we'll move on there. Super random selvage denim find. I felt these and they had that like stiff raw denim feel. So I just said, what the heck? I might as well look in the hem and see if they're salvage. And they were. So the brand was Left Field. I looked those up on eBay and was like, wow, that is actually a great item. Sold super fast for 69 bucks plus shipping. Another slept on brand, J. Crew. I found this heavyweight canvas jacket with the wool blanket lining. Pretty much anything, any chore jacket right now with blanket lining is going to be good. Let's just throw that out there. Sold for 65 bucks plus shipping. Here we have a great brand and item, but it was in very bad condition. Still sold really well. This is a Loro Piana sweater. You can see the tag here. This was just a cotton sweater, size 54, but this had huge stains all over it. And it said dry clean only, so I didn't want to try washing it and mess it up even more. If in perfect condition, could have been worth way more, but super happy for a one-day $65 sale. Here we have a vintage Abercrombie sweater that was new with tags. Anything that has that Y2K style in Abercrombie is going to be one of the better items, and the fact that it was new with tags bumped it up to that $50 price. This LL Bean jacket sold in one day for 60 bucks plus shipping. Chore coats are just selling amazing, or chore jackets. I don't know what you call it there. Why do my pictures get small? I don't know. Let's try it again. Okay, here's a better picture of the tag. This is actually women's. I could tell because the buttons were on the wrong side and it kind of had that like hourglass shape to it. Still super cool jacket. I think the red color probably helped it sell pretty quick. Here we have a Polo Sport fleece jacket. This item was actually like kind of basic in theory, but it was size 3XLT and it was modern Polo Sport, which normally you find these in their vintage. Had the flag logo. Polo collectors love the flag. So put all those in my title. Great size, sold for full price of 65 bucks. Here we have some vintage overalls. I think the camo pattern on this is Mossy Oak Backwoods, but the brand was Tree Bark. Either way, the comps are kind of all over the place on this one. I listed it high and let it fly, and it flew. 60 bucks plus shipping, full price sale. Here we have another Patagonia jacket with damage. This one, I only paid 12 bucks for it, so still a great flip. It had a hole in it. When you find puffer jackets with holes in it, it's pretty much a no-go, but Patagonia, and there are some other exceptions, but Patagonia is one of those exceptions. So still sold for 75 bucks plus shipping. A great flip. Here we have a Patagonia sweater. This one was made of lamb's wool. I used this little style code here, 50315, to figure out it's called the Alpinist, I don't know. Sweater. Cool, like kind of greenish, bluish colorway. Sold really quick for full price of 70 bucks. I did pay up like 23 bucks for that, so I was super happy to get a full price sale quickly. Here we have a vintage Polo Ralph Lauren bi-swing jacket. This one was unlined. It was canvas, had this cool plaid color. Sold for 70 bucks plus shipping. So if you find those with unique details, you can get even more for them. Okay, here we have another little sleeper. Here were some Uniqlo selvage denim jeans, but this was from a specific line called the UJ. I think it's Uniqlo Japan. The comps on these were not good, but because they seemed elevated from the normal selvage denim from Uniqlo, I decided to just list really high at 50 bucks and they sold full price. So maybe I underpriced it. Maybe I'm missing something. Maybe others are missing something, but either way, was a killer deal. Got these in a bulk buy from my friend English Thrifter on Instagram. He posted a pile of Levi's. I paid $5 a piece for a bunch of them, and these just looked weird and unique. So I jumped on that bundle to buy them because I just wanted to see what these were. I don't find Levi's I've never seen very often, but they had this weird, like, they were like the seams were kind of twisted onto the front, and then they had these little like flaps on the front. These things were old and distressed, even had some wear in the crotch here. But really cool old Levi's tag made in Croatia. And I just took a bunch of pictures because I didn't even know what these things meant. I think that I looked this up and was guessing that these were from the year 2000. So I put Y2K. Either way, the keyword is twisted when they twist over like that, and those could be worth really big bucks if you find specific models. I listed mine for 70 and they sold on the automatic offer from Auto Posher for 10% off of that, $62.95. Here we have an Eddie Bauer down parka. This is from the waterproof line Weather Edge, has the fur trim, and like I said, is down filled. All those things elevated the value to be a $50 jacket plus shipping. Relwyn is a home run brand. If you find this, just pick it up. I used their website to figure out these were called the trail hiking pants. Sold super fast for 75 bucks. Anything in this brand, just buy it. Got this blazer in a bulk buy. The brand is Luigi Bianchi Mantova Sartoria. I don't know why I added in an accent, but bear with me. Don't really know anything about it, but I looked it up. They were expensive. I got a reasonable offer. And when I get offers on blazers, if I can take them, I just do, because if you don't, they can sit. Here we have some Nike Air Max 97 triple black. I was on J-Ride's podcast and talking about this sale, and this is like a little pro tip for you guys. I listed these at $74 plus shipping. And the reason I did that is the comps were right around 75 to 80 bucks, but all the ones listed in this size were at 75 or more, so they had the authenticity shipping. So I was able to list mine for $73.95, charge $15 in shipping, but my delivery time was going to show way faster than those ones that had to go through authenticity, and mine was going to show up cheaper, and mine sold very fast because of that. So knowing the rules of eBay and using them to your advantage is one way to stand out and get ahead, and that's just one example. Paid $22.50 for those, I think half off of 50, or 45, half off of 45. I'm pretty sure, or maybe $17.50, half off of 35. I don't know. Either way, decent flip. Here we have a North Face jacket. Same old song and dance here again. Waterproof shell from the Dry Vent line. 3-in-1. 1, 2 can be worn together as 3. Use Google Lens for Lone Peak, which is the model name, and was able to get a nice price of 75 bucks. Victorinox tactical blazer. I listed these live on YouTube. When I was live, I was like, I don't know anything about this. I couldn't find any comps, but I have sold this brand before for a lot of money using really good keywords. So I keyworded the heck out of this thing, listed it high for 80 bucks, and it sold on the automatic 10% off offer of 72 bucks in just like one day. So sometimes having a unique item can help you if you know the right keywords to get that item sold. Here we have a New Tags Polo Ralph Lauren sweater. I knew this was going to be good because of that classic buffalo plaid print. I did pay up for this, I think 22 bucks. And I was kind of worried about paying up that much. But then when I looked up the comps, it kind of looked like a no-brainer. So I just went with it, and it sold fast for 75 bucks. Here we have a vintage M65 field jacket. This is a military jacket, sold for 70 bucks. Honestly, I don't know too much about military stuff. I've definitely been looking all of it up thanks to Big Yumbo. I send him pictures when I have questions. I sent him a picture of this. He told me it was an M65 jacket. That got me in the right ballpark on eBay, so I was able to price it correctly and it sold. So great little flip. Here we have a Carhartt jacket. This is very classic canvas, Sherpa lined, size 2XLT, sold for 80 bucks plus $15 shipping. Nice little shoe sale. I did have these listed a good bit higher than 75, but I was happy to just accept an offer because they were yellow, like discolored. It's not really yellow, it's more like brown, but they should be like bright white. So happy to give somebody a deal, because the condition's not perfect. Probably worth about 100 bucks in good condition. Here we have a Brooks Brothers suit. Another thing that just sells super slow because you have to match up the right jacket size to the right pant size to the right buyer. So when you get a good offer on a suit and you can afford to take it, you just take it. Probably is worth more like in that 120 to 150 range, but I'm not going to complain about an $85 sale on that. Scotty Vest is an excellent brand to be on the lookout for. They really helped me out here and put the model name right on the tag. Scotty Vest Shell 8.0. This had a lot of pilling on it. I disclosed that in the listing. I listed it for 100 bucks, got an $85 offer, and took it. Scotty Vest is known for their travel wear, so they have lots of pockets and lots of features to get you through airport security and all that good stuff. Here we have a vintage Woolrich hunting jacket. Obviously, this is hunting. Not fooling anybody with that neon orange. This had staining, that like dark marks that vintage jackets get all over it. Still sold for 81 bucks plus shipping because it was Gore-Tex, vintage, made in USA, all those great things from old jackets. Suit Supply blazer sold for 90 bucks plus shipping. Really easy to find this. The tag's right there. I did go down in the side and see that this was an elevated fabric from whatever that is. I don't know how you pronounce that. But the fabric was made in Italy. Just little things to add value. Was able to get that sold for 90 bucks. Here we have a Patagonia jacket. I honestly thought this one was going to be basic and sell for like 40 to 50 bucks. But when I looked it up, I used the style code like on the other items. It's called the Shelled Cinchilla jacket. When I looked that up, they were selling really great for close to 100 bucks. So no complaints on $95 sale. Here we have some Kobe's. These were pretty beat, not great condition, had tons of fuzz on the inside and hair on the insoles and just kind of not great condition, but it's Kobe, so they still sold for 100 bucks. Happy to take a $100 offer. Probably could have gotten way more in perfect condition, but still a nice little flip there. LL Bean chore jackets. You got it, those extra pockets, you got the heavyweight canvas, you put chore in the title and you get that thing sold. Sold super fast for 100 bucks, probably underpriced it. I saw other ones being listed and sold of that same style for like 50 to 75 bucks. I thought I was listing high at 100. Probably could have sold it for more when it sells in one day. Okay, somebody help me out. Frauenschuh. I don't know what that means in German either. But it was good. The thrift store had this priced up, I think, at 40 bucks, but nobody knew what it was. So I waited to see if it went to half off, which it did. So down to 20 bucks. And then I had a 25% off. So I think I only paid 15 bucks for these. Yeah, very happy with a $120 sale. This is the size. I went on their website to figure out what that meant, and that was size large. Honestly, I don't know really much about this. I just look things up when they look unique. To me, they kind of looked like almost like breeches, like the shape, but they had like also kind of like a ski pant feel, but they also had a wool in them. I honestly don't know, but I'm guessing retail, that's just like a stupidly expensive brand. Definitely want to be on the lookout for Frauenschuh. Here's another fun item. Vintage Cabela's Gore-Tex coveralls in a nice frog skin, orange blaze camo. I don't know if those are all the right words, but those are a bunch of different keywords that I put in the listing. This did have some of that same discoloration from just age, but this thing was super cool. I paid 26 bucks for this at Goodwill in the summer. Let it sit in my garage until fall, got it listed, and it sold on an offer for $125. Here we have a cool vintage polo jacket. It's Polo Sport. You can see here that it is down-filled, has this cool fur lining, and the hood actually fully zips up and over, and it also unzips to have like this fur on the shoulders. Once again, I got to give a shout out to my man, Big Yumbo. I sent this to him because I know he's super into vintage polo and also military stuff. It looked like a military style to me. And he told me exactly what it was, which was great. It's called an N2B snorkel jacket. There were none like this on eBay, so I kind of shot my shot and listed it at 200 bucks and got a $125 offer. And I had only paid, I think, $12 for it. So I just took the offer and ran with it. We're starting to get into the heavy hitters here. Here we have a Relwyn blazer. Once again, if you find this brand, just pick it up. When I found this originally, I thought it was going to be like kind of like an overshirt, like a heavy flannel kind of like work shirt. When I looked it up on Google Lens, it said it was the Flyweight Flex Blazer. Then I looked up Flyweight Flex Blazer, and there was like 8 listed and 60 sold, selling for like anywhere from 150 to 200 bucks. So that was like a home run item. I thought it was going to be like not as good as the pants, even ended up being more than double better than the pants. So excellent item from that brand, 170 bucks. It sold in no time. And here we have another home run brand. If you find this, pick it up no matter what. Brunello Cucinelli, extreme luxury designer brand, Italian brand. This had a hole in it right down here, and I think another hole in it in the shoulder. And this thing still sold for $210. Still sold for $210. So excellent brand. Definitely be on the lookout for it. I'll show you guys the tag again. Brunello Cucinelli. Put that in the vault. All right, my very best sale. Shout out to the Bread and Butter group again. This wasn't actually called out in the group, but I just learned a lot about seasonal selling and how like Christmas and Halloween decorations, all the things work from being in the group. So from the knowledge I've learned there, I was able to find this item on my own at Home Depot for $200. So I paid $200. It comes in its own box. So to ship it out, I just slapped the label on the box that it shipped to me in. This was delivered to my door for 200 bucks, sold it for 429 bucks. And then I think I also had $50 in shipping added on. So it ended up being a great little flip. What is that? 430 plus 50. So $480 sale to round us out for my best sale of the month. So that's everything that sold for $40 or more plus shipping. If you found this video helpful, definitely hit the like button and subscribe to the channel for more reselling content. It was nice to actually sit down and have a nice long form video for you guys. I've been trying to pump out some short form content because it's been a nice creative outlet for me lately, and also been having some work done at my house. So I've had lots of saws going and hammers banging and all that kind of stuff. So it's been kind of difficult to record a long form video, but it was nice to get down and just spit some knowledge for you guys. I was super happy with my month of October sales, and November's looking pretty good so far. So hopefully we're gonna have another amazing video like this for November. Last month, I did a bread and butter video as well. If you guys want to see the bread and butter items that sold for the month of October, let me know in the comments down below, and I will go ahead and make that video for you guys. Until next time, we'll see you. Take care.